how can I maintain control of my brand under this kind of, strategy basically, and stop unauthorized sellers with, from interfering with the sales. Like,
Yeah.
what are some recommendations on that front? Maybe I'll just stick with you for a second, Daren, on this
Sure.
one.
And I've largely talked through this in response to other questions, so I don't want to belabor it and give everybody else time to talk. But what you need is you need a solution-based approach to this. There's no magic policy or tool or software or scary letter or anything like that that's going to fix this for you. Steve touched on it briefly as well, but you need to do a couple of things. Number one, you need to understand, okay, how am I going to market on the marketplace? Am I 1P? Am I 3P? That's really going to impact your KPIs. It has nothing really to do with the number of sellers that you have and things like that. The key is, what is your authorized seller driving in terms of volume and revenue in the channel? And is that going way up and the unauthorized volume going way down? To achieve that, you really only may need to deal with a small percentage of your resellers. And again, just to recap, you need to think of the world in two buckets. You have your authorized sellers that may be selling there, and then you have unauthorized sellers. With your authorized sellers, if you have the right policies and whatnot, you can just simply stop shipping them. You can talk to them. You can get them back in their lanes. With respect to unauthorized sellers, you need that very particular foundation that we talked about so that you can go out and you actually have a basis to remove them, because otherwise you don't. And I would caution anybody on the phone that's doing some, trick on brand registry or something like that, and filing tickets saying things are counterfeit, or doing, shenanigans like that, because A, it doesn't work, and B, it can get you into trouble. You just have to follow a very prescribed path to have the right foundation for your brand to be able to remove those sellers. And then from an enforcement standpoint, look, everybody's budgets and time and everything are limited. And so we do what we call precision enforcement. It's data-driven. Say, look, okay, who's everybody that's selling this? Well, first we'd say, what are those brands' KPIs? Selling through Pattern. Okay, well, we need Pattern to own 95, 98, 99% of buy box. That's what the brand needs in order to have the model be successful. So now we want to see, well, who's actually interfering with sales? You may have 50 sellers, but only 5 of them may be interfering with sales. Where brands err is they want to go and send scary letters to 100 sellers and nobody listens to them and they don't move the needle. But we go and we find out which sellers are most disruptive, and we apply the right tactics against them based upon our historical experience and those sorts of things, all designed to drive the key outcomes, which is going to be your authorized seller share of buy box. And we can get into things in other platforms and channels, but from an Amazon perspective, that's that just strategy. What are you trying to do? Foundation. How do you build the foundation to be able to do it? And then enforcing against anybody that disrupts your strategy at the end of the day. Is an overview of that.
And John, can I add something to that?
Please.
So one of the things that kind of before you get into a lot of what Daren's organization is so well known for, you need corporate buy-in. You need buy-in from your company that they think this is important to, control, maintain, because you can end up with cross-channel conflict where, somebody on another channel, whether it's the retail side or an HCP side of the organization, might have distributor relationships and they're doing great sales through those relationships, but it's causing problems for Amazon because many of these buyers are then landing on Amazon and reselling the product, and the distributor may not be so incented to if you have a MAP policy, enforce that MAP policy through these buyers that they're selling to. So really, I would say you got to make sure that the senior exec team is in alignment, that this is something that as an organization you want to do it before you can really be effective.